That is what happens when someone finds your base. Maybe it was a random player. Maybe it was your so-called friend. Either way, your base is gone. Looted, blown up, and turned into a memory. But that's why I've spent hours designing 2 unique methods to make sure that never happens again. Not just any hiding tricks, I'm talking about strategies that actively mislead anyone trying to track you down. Because in a world where everyone wants your diamonds, your farms, your secrets, being hidden isn't enough, you need to be unfindable. So whether you're on an SMP full of griefers or just paranoid like me, these are tools you'll need. Let's dive in. Here are 2 genius ways to keep your Minecraft base safe. Alright, let's start with the basics. By pressing F3 in Minecraft Java Edition, you open the debug screen, which shows various technical details like FPS, coordinates, and memory usage. If you then hold F3 and press 1, a circular pie chart appears. This tool breaks down how the game is spending its processing time. For our purposes, we're only interested in using the pie chart to help find player bases. To do this, you use your numpad to navigate. First click into the tick section, then into levels. This brings up 4 key categories: entities, block entities, and unspecified. Oh, and blocks. We're only focusing on block entities as they represent interactive or data storing blocks commonly used by players, like chests, signs, mob spawners, and even trial spawners. If these items show up in the chart, it means they are currently loaded in your render or simulation distance, which strongly suggests there's a player-made structure nearby. For example, seeing entries like chests or signs indicates these blocks are being ticked and are present in this area, helping you track down hidden bases or areas of activity, especially on multiplayers or anarchy servers, like the Donut SMP. Now that we know this information, we can actually use this and implement it into our methods. So let's do that. But obviously we don't have a house yet. So this is the land I'll be using, and currently obviously there's nothing here, so let's fix that. I just have to put everything that we need inside of this house as a dummy base. Now with all the essentials within my dummy base, it is now nearly impossible to tell whether there's a base underneath it. And that's how we go to step 2. Now let me introduce you to the null shell subversion method. Surface decoy with hidden bedrock base. A misdirection protocol that employs a hollowed surface structure, the null shell, to bait enemies while the real base, the core hold, is embedded deep at bedrock, designed to subvert surface scans and griefing raids by mimicking occupancy with no true vulnerability. So, in short, the null shell is just a useless outer shell, the subversion is just the active undermining or deceiving. And this just feels like something a secretive redstone cult would name, so, you know. Now, at first, I thought I had outsmarted the pie chart. I built a decoy base on the surface, just enough activity to clog the pie chart with false data and throw off anyone trying to trace it back to my real base. And it worked. Until it didn't. Because all someone had to do was blow up the decoy, reload the pie chart, and suddenly, my actual base, sitting right below, was exposed. I realized the problem wasn't just hiding the base, it was breaking the connection between the surface and what's underneath. That's when I had the breakthrough. Trial chambers. These structures naturally generate underground and are packed with enough entity activity and block variation to flood the pie chart with noise. So instead of linking my surface decoy directly to my real base, I sandwiched a trial chamber in between. Now, even if someone nukes the surface and checks the pie chart, all they'll pick up is the chaos from the trial chamber. It acts like a firewall, completely scrambling the signal and making my true base at bedrock basically invisible. But here's where it gets even better. Most players hunting for hidden bases aren't just looking at surface level pie charts. They're digging into the pie chart of entity blocks, the one that shows exactly what type of blocks are being ticked or interacted with underground. Things like chest furnaces, hoppers, all light up like a beacon on that chart. And normally, that's exactly how hidden bases get exposed. But trial chambers? They're a goldmine of distracting data. The spawners, traps, and decorated blocks all constantly trigger updates in the entity block pie chart. So when a player scans the chart expecting to see a tidy little base layout, all they get is a chaotic mess of structure generated activity. It's like hiding a whisper in a hurricane. Even if they think they're onto something, they're actually just staring at Minecraft's own noise. And that brings us to our final conclusion. This method is known now as the false route descent method. It's a tactical anti-detection strategy that plants a believable but shallow route decoy base on the surface, while the real base lies deep below. Between them, buffer layers dilute block entity signals, rendering pie chart tracking ineffective. The false route misleads griefers who waste time scanning what appears to be their source, never realizing the true base lies buried far beneath. False route obviously implies a fake origin point to the surface base. Descent keeps a vertical layered architecture idea. And obviously the name now directly ties into the idea of misleading signal tracing tools like the pie chart. And that is the false route descent method, a surface level lie hiding a bedrock level truth. While griefers chase noise and shadows with their pie charts, you'll be above bedrock untouched. If you found this useful, consider dropping a like, maybe even a sub. And if you're on the Donut SMP, consider this your one and only warning that not every base is what it seems. Till next time, dig smart, build deeper, and trust no one.